Hello, good morning. Okay, so this is going to be the last part for round one anyway. Got a little bit cut off last time, so we'll go ahead and finish off this one right here. Actually, let's turn this down just a slight tad. There we go. So yeah, we've got the Tits and Wine and the Slugman going at it. Essentially, the Prior is the only one left on his team, whereas there are 3 members left on the DBZ team. And do I have frame skip turned off again? No, I don't. It's just being very smooth for some reason. But yeah, there's a good chance he can actually beat the rest of the team. The main reason that he actually lost last time was due to the fact that the pink shirt was basically dodging everything he was firing. Wound up in a very open map and wound up firing almost everything straight into a hill. A little bit like he's doing right now with a building, but, you know, as it goes. Yeah, hopefully it won't be abruptly cut off. It's very possible, though. Well, hi over there, co-commentator. Look over here dancing in a little wagon. It's adorable. Toddlers are just the cutest, I swear. He's like over here rocking back and forth. It's like, yes, I heard music. It's all like pew-pews and weird noises, but whatever. Deal with it. If you're wondering on the music this time, it's the soundtrack for Subterranea. It's this weird... It's this weird old game on the Genesis that, honestly, the closest I'd probably be able to describe it as, if you've ever played a Pixel Junk Shooter, it's kind of like that. If anything, I would say that, you know, it's kind of the original version of that. Also, wow, you had no reason to lose there, but... Alright. Thanks for popping everything straight into a building, but he's out. Oh, yeah? Hi. Giant smile on her face. Like, check it out, I'm singing into a cup. Alright, number 4. So, okay. The next team here is number 6 and number 10. Oddly enough, these last few wound up somehow just, like, all tying together. Alright, so... Alright, so number 10 here. I actually can't load them up in this part. I don't know why I'm doing that. Alright. This menu, we're going back to doing it this particular way, and we're dropping stuff here. Fantastic. Alright, team load. Alright, so we got team number 6, so we have Crossback. Oh yeah, so what I was trying to say about Subterranea there. Okay, number 4, so yeah, actually, that is Crossback. Against number 10, what number? 3. Man, against Metal Wolf? Really? He's not gonna stand a chance. That's just mean. But yeah, no, so, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, so Subterranean. It's kind of like this... a sort of 2D shooter thing, wherein you're just, like, kind of hovering off the ground, and basically spending fuel to go upwards while you're constantly being pulled down. This seems like a weird way to describe it, but just bear with me. So you're constantly spending fuel to go upwards, you're limited on your fuel, you're limited on some of your shots. You basically have a main shot that powers up over time and then just like shoots everywhere at once. But point being, you're constantly on limited time and resources, so if you run out of gas, you're just basically done for. And you're constantly pulled down in a very surprisingly strong manner. So, usually the idea is something along the lines of, like, you have to rescue X amount of people from over here, you have to go fix X device over here, and then, like, there's a bunch of locations for different kinds of helpful items or whatever, and then they just send you in. It's a weird thing. It's a weird idea that they really could have done a lot better. Dang it. Crossback's gone. Why'd I have to start with Crossback, dang it? Alright, so Crossback's out. Next, for number 6, we have number 3. Just go load them up. Load it. And we got the 3089 Taurus. 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 3089 And for number 10, man, are we just gonna eliminate both of my favorites right off the bat? These two are hands down my favorite. Really? You're gonna make me do it? Great. I have to go take out my own favorite. So the Caffeinator is my my personal AC that I tend to make in all these games the first time through. But yeah, so back on the subject of Subterranea there, while this rusty bastard and this magnificent bastard fight it out. I'm sorry, Taurus, you have no chance. So pretty much you're going through all of this stuff, you know, with a very vague briefing. You have a few lives, but by and large, all of those just keep carrying over, you know, per level, so in many cases you're just purging lives very quickly, but it's very unforgiving. It doesn't really give you enough time to do stuff, and also the lives count is too limited, plus stuff gets way too specific later on. It's like the first maybe 4 levels of the thing were very solidly designed, very well balanced, and then they did the usual like old console thing of like, we gotta make it every single one harder, gotta do it this way, and then like they made it to a point where you're basically going and surviving with 1% fuel if you know exactly what you're doing, and it's like, why? Why exactly would you do this? There's actually some of the features on the box, like underwater fighting and stuff like that, that never actually even... most people never even saw the first time through. Also, wow, the Taurus is doing so much better than it has any right to. But okay, Taurus is gone. I'm sorry, Taurus. You tried so hard. This is a sad day. We've lost both Taurus and Crossback pretty much immediately. Okay, we rolled number 5. I'm just going to keep going to AC change here because I can't seem to figure out how to brain. Just kind of feel weird having this team together, but whatever. Alright, Fortress. Who are you going to lose against? Number 4, it would seem. But yeah, so I would describe, like I was saying, the best way that I could possibly describe it is just if you've played Pixel Junk Shooter, that's like a better version of that. Not in terms of presentation so much as just, it's the same idea, better executed. Because as far as the whole, like, I would almost describe it as like a hardcore puzzle shooter thing, it is not a genre that ever took off. Alright. On Fortress. I think you're the only Pokemon AC in here. Get away from that. Okay, good. Little one just like ran over to a laundry basket, just like, I'm gonna go tip this on myself. Alright. Wait a second, is Fortress actually winning it? I guess it's possible? Oh, please win it, Fortress. Vice President versus random Pokemon that almost no one got. Because you had to go headbutt a tree in a forest for ages to actually find the stupid thing. It's one of my personal favorite designs and overall, like, setup and all that. Because I just love the idea that the thing's basically like a floating gun turret that they're calling an animal. But no. It's, I don't know, it's just funny looking. But no, just the whole idea of just, it is a hard defensive thing with almost no offense going for it. Alright, there we go, he did it! Against all odds, he somehow won it. How about that? Alright, who's next? Number 1. Okay, so the Jester, that's a Kami's thing. Number 2. Now, I actually did this whole thing a while ago with all the community ACs fighting each other. So if it ends up getting to the point, mine would probably just beat his in this case. Not to say in like any, oh, my thingy over here is better than your thingy. I just mean more in terms of actual counters. They do the same thing, one's just better at it. That's what I'm trying to say here. Because they're both kind of mid-range shooty type, but this one's armor is lower. I'm trying to get at here. And that's primarily only with shell. The way that I described that I had made mine, pretty much I figure most energy stuff is dodgeable. Most shell stuff is a little bit harder to do so just went ahead and kind of stacked it for one defense type and put extra armor on there and called it a day, pretty much. Like, its whole thing is just wasting one particular type of ammunition. Alright, so... so far the Jester's winning it. Seems to be doing pretty well here. Alright, there we go. So, there we go. It did its job well. That's how it goes. So that right there is what a mid-range shooter is supposed to look like. Pretty much, as far as an Armored Core context. Now, moving on. We got number 3. Which is already not here. Hang on, what's the closest then? We got 4 and 2. So 2 would be the closest in this case. We got the Valkyrie. And then we got number 5. Yeah, number 5 still in here. So let's take a look at that. Oh man. It's mine again. Stop putting my dude on the chopping block. Well, nah. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine. As was discovered way back when these first 2 here were actually made, pretty much mid-range shooters are kind of the main counter in AC as far as snipers go. So this is based off her AC1 version, so it doesn't really have extensions or anything like that. So she does her job well, but again, this is just an unfortunate situation of one is clearly a counter to the other. I mean, general rules, mid-range shooters are going to be snipers. Snipers are often going to have a chance against heavies, but may lose. It's kind of an iffy thing on there. Snipers will usually win against lights. Lights have a chance against heavies. Heavies have a tendency to lose to heat builds. Heat builds have a tendency to lose to power builds. Power builds have a tendency to lose to speed builds. So, with exceptions, that's kind of how it ends up going. Mid-ranges have a tendency to lose to close ranges, that kind of thing. I mean, it'll vary. Obviously, there's so many variants in all the different categories, but broadly speaking, that's the way it seems to go when the AI is involved. I mean, when people are involved, early 3rd gen, it was entirely about, who can do what. Later on, that changed a little bit when the overall, punishment bar for stuff going awry was different. Like, especially 4th gen, you could really do a lot of stuff. You could still be pretty darn threatening, even if you had no idea what you were doing. But then, up to a certain threshold, it got to the point where very good people could just get to the point of just being untouchable. So it was a little bit too loose, and then, then there's the whole problem of constant damage once we got to 5th gen. So, it's, the series has always had its ups and downs. Hopefully their next experiments go a little bit better. But we'll see. We'll see. And we got number 2 again. And we got against number 1. Wait a sec, number 2 is gone. What the hell am I doing? I can't brain today. It's just one of those days, isn't it? Oh crap, the Tempest is here. Well... Alright, reroll that one. Looks like 3 or 1, so 1 is still available, so... There we go. Might as well just call it right there. What I was saying about midweights have a tendency to lose to power builds. Behold. I'll just go ahead and mark the Jester off as dead. Because I've seen this. I have seen this happen. So, here's what usually happens. Midweight, the kind of mid-range, midweight kind of shooter types have a tendency to start, you know, throwing everything off as much as they can. You know, if they plink, they do pretty decent plink. That's why they have a tendency to beat lights and snipers very, very effectively. When it comes to far heavier ones, though, where it's simply not enough to actually, you know, be an active threat when they're going one-on-one, you get this kind of thing, and they don't exactly have the speed to dodge a power build, so they just end up getting pounded into paste in absolutely no time. Alright, so that leaves only 5 on this team. And I will continue to make that same mistake, because I don't know how to hit brains. That's how. Watch Fortress beat this thing somehow. I mean, it's weak to fire, that's the problem. Okay, looks like they're going against number 3. Alright, Metal Wolf. I mean, he doesn't really have a reason to go get revenge for the Vice President that tried to take over. Actually, it's weird, because right now we're going through a point where that is probably preferable. Oh, man. Let's just not even get into that crap show. Moving on. Yeah, you know you're off for an interesting time when somebody starts talking about what they're doing for the country and declares themselves the greatest leader that's ever been. Shudder. Well, at this range, if he ends up broadsiding him... Oh my god, he might do it. If he would follow that up, that would be it. But he's wasting all his Selena shots here. Not to mention if he would put out some mines, that would really do some business. Although, interestingly, he's managing to dodge almost all of this guy's actual stuff. Is Metal Wolf staying in it? I really wouldn't count the Metal Wolf as one of those ones that's really going to stick around a while, but it's got a chance. I mean, it's a heavyweight, it's got some pretty decent firepower behind it. And, yeah, the Fortress has a constant thing of setting itself on fire. But all it takes is one good burst from those arms, and it's... Oof, there we go. There we go. He failed to circle around him, and that's Team 6 gone. Ooh, I believe this is the level 6 music, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Moving on. We have Old Lang Syne versus Awesome. Alright, so... These guys right here, funnily enough, Old Lang Syne does not actually have Old Lang Syne in it. So this is the one with a few of Royal's other ACs here, as well as some Nexus ones. But this is a remake of the Nexus test AC they end up having to fight. This is one of the randos from Nexus. This is another one of the randos from Nexus. These two ones are Royals, so the Raidberry and the Crowlar. Crowlar being a remake of Pretty Lar. I don't know what the Lar is. They're just sort of around. And then Raidberry, which I assumed to be like a very offensive form of cereal. So I colored them accordingly. Any day, anyways. Who is here for Old Lang Syne? Number 3. So White Lynx, you're first on the cutting block. And for Awesome, we also have number 3. So let's go ahead and mark those for elimination and see who gets it. Ooh, again. That's weirdly fitting. Hang on. These guys have been in a thing already. Are there 2 Old Lang Synes? Yeah, because the rest of these guys haven't. Okay. So here's how we're gonna count it. Maybe, you know what? One of them was killed off, the other one was just a completely different one using a just coincidentally identical AC. Yep, there we go. He showed up twice. He gets 2 copies. Yeah. Oh, hi. How's it going, co-commentator? Good stuff? Big smiles? Big smiles, apparently. And if you keep that up, you are gonna end up face planting. Let's not do that, okay? There you go. There you go. The process to learn to walk is interesting. Do. Oh, taking my sunglasses? Alright, you do that then. Alright, I'm saying Old Lang Syne on this one. For the record, I had no friggin' idea there was another one of these. I thought I got rid of all the clones. But yeah, no. I guess just Old Lang Syne gets a second chance, like I said, because maybe there were two of them. So far, so even. Alright, looks like he's given up his main offensive advantage here for some reason. He's just going for verticals, which ALS is dodging without really actually even needing to. It's a pretty distinct AP advantage at this point. Yeah, I don't know, in general, I love the combination of aesthetics and the number of weapons he uses at once. This is very satisfying. Oh crap, he's pulling it back. He's pulling it back. And yeah, he has enough shots to actually pull this off, so Old Lang Syne's gonna need to pull out his orbits if he's gonna do anything. Why he's not using them, I don't know, but okay, never mind. He's dead again. What a darn shame. Okay. You had every advantage possible, dang it. There were even two of you. But no, he already, he won against 9-Ball, so he eliminated one of the 9-Balls. That's the other one that got clones. Let's see, it was 9-Ball that got a clone, it was Old Lang Syne that got a clone. Those two were acceptable. There was Call Limit and Panzer Messiah, who were both utterly worthless, so those don't even matter. Alright, moving on. 3. By the way, I should mention, all of those have been replaced, so we're at like 203, I think, at this point. So, there's that. Alright, so it's him again. And for the other team, it's 4. Mark those down. Oh, hi, telephone. Bye, telephone. Actually, wait a second. That's a call I really have to take. Hang on, be right back.